Hi, I'm Kenny Wallace, and you're watching Cup Connection.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Massaro, and thank you once again for watching us here on Cup Connection. We've got a great guest today. Kenny Wallace is with us. But before we get to Kenny, I want to remind you to like the program, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have a favorite memory of Kenny, send it in to us. Maybe we'll ask him during the course of the show. So, hey, let's get right to it. Kenny, thanks for being with us. How have you been?
I've been really good, Mike. I miss you. I've been paying attention to you, but I'm living in St. Louis, Missouri now, and running my dirt car and raising grandbabies, but all is good.
So St. Louis, you went back home. You left Charlotte, where everybody else is, except for me. I'm in Connecticut. So what's it like going back home?
You know, the plan was always to go back home. Years ago, I think it was maybe 1988, November of 1988. As they say, we moved to South, and the plan was when we were done was to come back home because St. Louis is home, and we enjoy our sports. We're a big sports town like you all are, and now it's double the fun because I'm not totally done racing my dirt car. It's a lot of fun, so it just made sense to come home.
You're a big baseball fan, so maybe you'll understand this analogy. You remind me a little bit of Jose Canseco. I mean, you know what he did. He's a Hall of Fame baseball player in the major leagues, did all kinds of things, but he didn't want to stop. So he continued playing. He dropped down and played some minor league baseball, actually played in Charlotte after his major league career, just because he loved the game. You remind me a lot of that. One of those guys who just loves the sport and just couldn't get away from it.
It really comes down to, simply put, what else am I going to do? It's a deal where I still am in very good shape. I'm not trying to prove anything. I just really think that in life you got to do what you love to do. And now that my NASCAR days are over, Mike, it's kind of fun to race without all that pressure on myself. When I started racing and making it to NASCAR, although I loved it, there was a certain amount of misery that was required with it. So now it truly is on my terms. And then on another way, in another way I look at it, we got that if you're 62 to 67, you stop your life, you take Social Security. I think that's fine, but that's just something there for you. So it's just not time to sit on the couch yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't correct me, by the way. I said that Jose Canseco is a Hall of Fame player. We all know he's not getting in the Hall of Fame, right? So for other reasons.
He's a good player, just like Mark McGwire was, or, Barry Bonds. And, listen, I'm a big baseball fan too. I'm right there with you. But regardless, that's another conversation, right?
It totally is. Hey, let's get back on the track of racing. Okay, so we talked about you moving from Charlotte, but kind of Charlotte's coming to you this week. The NASCAR Cup Series, Truck Series, both racing in St. Louis. What's that mean for a guy from St. Louis who cut his teeth there to have the Cup Series racing there for a second time?
I think I'm an emotional person because my family, like my brother Rusty, my brother Mike, they're like, no big deal. Kenny Schrader's like, yeah, no big deal. And me, I think, I'm just a lover. I'm just beside myself. I love racing so much, always have. And, for our town, St. Louis, it's a big deal, to have the highest form of motorsports in America come to St. Louis. That's unbelievable. And, last year we had 60,000 people. It was a great race. It is a good racetrack. Not because it's my racetrack, but it really was a good race. We saw Joey Logano win, slide job by Kyle Busch and Harvick. We had a green-white checkered because of Harvick getting in the wall, and it's just a good show. So I am proud of it, and I'm proud to represent it.
There's a lot of folks out there who may not be aware of the racing culture in the St. Louis area. I know Lake Hill Speedway is a big part of that culture, right? So
yes.
Folks out there who aren't aware of the heritage in St. Louis. What can you tell me?
Yeah, 100%. You nailed it right away. So Lake Hill Speedway in Valley Park, Missouri. Now the racetrack's gone, but it was the racetrack that we ran every Sunday night. And my big brother, Rusty Wallace, raced Kenny Schrader every Sunday night. And of course, my dad raced there, my brother Mike, and also Lake Hill Speedway. I'm sure it's in the archives somewhere. Had some big USAC open wheel midget races, Mario Andretti. We had some superstars there. There was some NASCAR races in the Grand American Division. Tiny Lund raced there in that number 55 Pepsi car. Now I'm going way back. However, it gives you a good look inside. And right now to this day, right this moment, we have Tri-City Speedway right across the river in Granite City, Illinois, and I'm racing there tonight. Kenny Schrader owns a really famous track, I-55 Speedway right here in Peebly, Missouri. We got Highland, Illinois. So we got a good 3 to 4 dirt tracks that get national attention because big racetracks, big divisions, World of Outlaws, Lucas Oil, they all run here right now. And that's where I race right now to this day.
You mentioned some big names there. The one that jumped off the page for me was the Andretti family, of course.
Yeah.
The Wallace family. Come on. The Wallace family is a huge part of the St. Louis culture. I mean, your dad, your brothers. I mean, what was it like as a young man yourself, watching your father race, watching Rusty race at those places?
Well, we were like everybody. We worked for a living. My Uncle Gary was not wealthy, but Uncle Gary was smart enough to start a janitorial business. And it started with household vacuum cleaners. And Garrett, my grandpa that I never met, went door to door in the city of St. Louis. I mean, down by the Arch, the city, and repaired vacuum cleaners, sold them, the legendary Hoover brand. Well, then my Uncle Gary said, hey, I'm going to take over, from his dad, my grandpa. Well, then my dad, Russ, got played into it. So before long, OK Vacuum became OK Vacuum and Janitorial Supplies. My dad ran the normal household vacuum cleaners. Then my Uncle Gary, my brother Mike, my brother Rusty, Paul Andrews, who was Alan Quickie's championship crew chief, also worked on the janitorial end. In our, we had Mike McDonnell Douglas, Anheuser-Busch, Monsanto. We had big accounts and we became somebody. So first and foremost, we worked. And then Uncle Gary didn't like it too much because we started squeezing out a little early on Fridays because we had to go racing. Yeah, so we had to make a living. And all of a sudden, big brother Rusty got really good, and we know the rest is history when we talk about my Hall of Fame, brother Rusty. He made it. And I wanted some of that action too. So, I made it down to North Carolina. I started in ASA. I followed my brother Rusty's footsteps and my brother Mike. And so, that's just kind of a look. Now my dad's gone. Uncle Gary's still living. They sold the business. And now everybody's a little bit older, but we had to work for a living, and that helped us get to where we needed to get to.
You remind me, we got a question on Facebook from one of our viewers this week for you, and it seems like the appropriate time to ask. That viewer wanted to know if you had a match race with your brothers, Rusty and Mike, and they hypothetically say it would be in the next gen car.
Yeah. Who
would win?
Well, I believe in my ability. I'm not going to put myself in there because I do look up to both my brothers. Myself and Rusty have always agreed that my brother Mike has the real raw talent. Mike's an extremely good race car driver. However, if you let all three brothers work on their race car, Rusty's going to kick your butt. My big brother Rusty's a gadgeteer. You know this from your days in NASCAR. The joke was all Rusty needed was somebody to tell him when to pit, because Rusty basically crew chiefed all those NASCAR Cup cars by himself. He basically told the man that was building the shop what he needed. So I think Mike would probably win if he just let us drive the car. But if you let Rusty tinker with it, Rusty was going to kick our butts.
Have you guys ever done that? You ever had a match race against each other in anything?
Yeah, we did years ago over at Tri-City Speedway in Granite City, Illinois, on a little quarter-mile dirt track. And I was not a dirt racer, but me and Dad ran in the back, and Rusty and Mike battled it out. They were side by side, and I think Rusty might have won. I can't really remember, but I still got a small, really cool trophy, and they called it the All Wallace Dash. And it was 4 of us, and it was standing room only. It was nerve-wracking. We came home, and the fans were there. They showed up, and it was pretty cool. But it was probably in the late 90s, when NASCAR was screaming with 200,000 people in the grandstands. But we did do that.
All right. Hey, before we let you go, I got to ask you a question about the story of the week. Of course, that's Chase Elliott, right? Chase Elliott getting suspended. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. What did you think?
Well, I was surprised that they suspended him. But and the reason I was surprised that they suspended Chase is because he did everything politically correct. He didn't admit that he did it. He didn't get on a TV interview afterwards and admit he did it. He says, hey, I got in the wall and then I had no control. But what ended up getting him is what we all thought is we know there's a camera, Mike, on every corner now in America. And, what got him was, the data when they downloaded it and you looked at it. And now we have in-car camera. So I'm laughing not at him. I'm laughing because it's very hard to hide anymore. And now the drivers have got this new data acquisition, Mike, where they can get on. Denny Hamlin got on there and he downloaded it, put it on Twitter and said, look, right here. He turned into me. So, they caught him and he got caught. And, lesson learned for our most popular driver. And now the precedent has been set. It was funny, Mike, because I don't see a lot of Chase Elliott fans really mad about it. I mean, there's some of them going, he's my man, but he did it. He's suspended, and it doesn't hurt him that much because, heck, he was already out for 2 months with a broken leg. So it'd be a little different, Mike, if he was, he was right in the thick of the championship, Chase. So it's all good.
Strange year for Chase, no question. Hey, you're going to be in the booth again. You've been doing a little more TV this week, right?
Yeah, I'm, I retired from NASCAR on Fox on my own terms. Mike, I just got tired of being on the road. And, I'll be 60 in August. So I left Fox on good terms. They're very nice to me. So, Jacob Ullman, the boss, I got the big call. We did it last year. And I think, as they say, I've matured a little bit. I'm not as crazy as I used to be. So I'm excited to be on the second stage of the NASCAR Cup race on Sunday. So it's an honor, and I'm excited to do it.
Well, it's going to be exciting to watch. A lot of people out there are going to be listening to every word you have to offer. Hey, folks, we want to talk to our audience now, Kenny, real quick. Just want to remind you to hit like on the screen and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, please send us your favorite memory of Kenny Wallace. Kenny, I've got to let you go, but hey, thanks for being with us. It's great to catch up.
You look good. I see all the pictures. Your son is taller than you.
Yes, it is. That doesn't take much, by the way.
Yep. Well, I didn't mean it as like that. I just meant, I've got 3 daughters too, and they've all got kids, and I'm a grandbaby. So keep it up on social media because I like to see what you're up to. And thank you for having me on your show.
Likewise, I enjoy following you and everything you have to offer on social media. It's one of the best follows in the sport. Thank you, Kenny.